All right, what is going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today is all about play testing the new, I want to say brand new, but like new-ish Puma King Ultimate 2.0. I know they don't say that on the website, but it is really the 2.0. Updated, fits way better, at least in my opinion, and I'm really excited to get these out on pitch to see what the updates are all about. Let's jump into it. All right, so getting these on feet, I imagine that these are gonna be a boot that I'm gonna have to take off once or twice, even though they fit much better than the previous generation. This is still a fairly tight-fitting football boot, so that is something to keep in mind. They do fit, oh, wow, man. Okay, so a lot of people have also asked, like, oh, Noah, like other reviewers on YouTube have said something about them, like they're not super impressed by them. Why are you so impressed by them? And number one, I really like a lot of other reviewers on YouTube. I think there's a lot of really cool people out there, including people who have been on the platform for a long time, as well as people who have not. So that is kind of irrelevant because I don't really care what other reviewers say. I am not somebody who's gonna follow a bandwagon if there isn't one to jump on, in my opinion. I am one of the only, if not the only, former professional players to be reviewing football boots. So I'm coming at this from a perspective of a very high level player that also understands what the consumer wants from a boot perspective. And for me, looking at where we were with the 1.0, the reason I have such a positive reaction to these every time I put them on is because I am so impressed with how tiny, subtle upgrades to the heel area, to the general shape, to the fit of this boot make this boot from Puma so much more enjoyable to wear and to be in. So there's kind of an up close look at what the boots look like. They fit my feet actually quite well. I imagine there's gonna be definitely some stiffness here in the outside where that kind of that Puma logo is, but overall they are so much better than they used to be, and they actually fit my foot in particular pretty nicely. And that's something that I can get really excited about. And of course, first things first, we have to get warmed up on the ladder. I am already warm because I've just filmed 2 other boot reviews before this, but you get what I mean. So straight away, yeah, very nice. God, the shape, man. The shape fits me so well straight out of the box. I love that. And the sole plate isn't updated compared to last generation. At least, I don't think so. Nah, it's the same. It's always funny, like, oh, am I right in saying what I just said? So sole plate feels the same. I actually don't mind the sole plate. It's conical studs, so it is gonna feel really good on AG. It feels very balanced, especially when you're going side to side. And I do think this K-Better upper, because it doesn't stretch a ton, it actually gives you quite a bit of lockdown as you are moving side to side in and out of the ladder. Next and last one here. By the way, I wear a size 9 US in these. The fit is perfect. I could probably go up half a size if I wanted to, but I don't like to have any space on the end or the tip toes of my boots. And so I would say that these fit about as well as any boot I could ask for from a length perspective, because they do fit like perfectly right on the toe, basically zero space, which means as the boots as the boots expand, I'm gonna feel perfect on the inside of them, which is great. All right, so this one, cones here, they're just markers. There's obviously lines on either side, but really get there and back as quick as I can, or maybe 85, 90%, and get some really hard cutting to make sure that I can kind of get a sense of what the lockdown is like. Because so far, man, these boots are really, really comfortable, and lockdown seems to be pretty good. I can imagine though, if you had narrow feet, the lockdown probably wouldn't be as good, but the upgrades that they've made to this heel area, woo, woo. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So my thoughts on K-Better as it relates to some of the other synthetic leathers, or faux leather, if you will, on the market. In that category is Scudetta with their BioTouch upper. That's a very similar kind of feeling. You have the Tiempo Legend 10 Elite with their synthetic upper, with their Fly Touch Plus. And then you have the Messia 50 with hybrid touch, And then what else? There's a couple other ones that are kind of like this. Oh, and then the Asics DS Lite X Fly 5 and DS Lite X Fly Pro 2 special editions, or SEs, which are the synthetic leather versions of their leather counterpart. Both of those are obviously the same boot as each other. They just, one has synthetic leather and one doesn't. So how do these stack up? How does K-Better stack up? I think the worst out of those is the Tiempo. I think the worst one by far is the Tiempo. I think K-Better is more pliable. It's a little bit softer. It's got a thinner feel to it. And there's no bullshit texturing on it. So the Tiempo, depending on what colorway you get, one is more sticky, one has got like patterns on it, one is matte finish, one is this, and it's like, keep it consistent, please. K-Better, that's what you get. You just get no grip, no nothing, matte finish. It's very, very soft, and it molds to your foot, which is great. Now, the Sokito BioTouch is probably out of the synthetic kind of leather / hybrid touchy materials, the synthetic of the Scudetta and the Asics are probably my favorite straight out of the box. I would say that the Messi F50 is a close second / third, and these are fourth. And I would say the 4 top boots are much higher than the Tiempo. I think the Tiempo is like shocking. It's not that great. Fly Touch Plus is fine, but it's not great. This is like, if Fly Touch is here and the top 2 are here, you have Scudetta Asics as number 1. You have what was number 2? Hybrid Touch. And then you have the bottom one. These fit, the K-Better's like kind of in here somewhere. So gives you an idea. And that's not to say actually at all that K-Better is bad, because I actually think it's quite good, particularly because it feels a lot like, I don't know, really, really advanced old tech from Nike with some of their synthetic leather stuff. But I do really like how thin these feel, and it gives you such a nice touch on the ball, which I'll probably discover just now. So this is like one of my favorite dribbling drills, just a little bit of skills, and it gives me a good idea of the turning ability and all sorts of performance when doing a little bit more kind of performance dribbling, little in and out, little turn there, little turn back, and then footwork steals here, and then out through. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, honestly, guys, I know that a lot of people will probably think these are pretty underwhelming. I really like them. I think they fit really well. I have a little bit of tightness around my toes because it is quite a low volume toe box. There's a slight amount of tightness on the width, although I honestly expected to feel a little bit more pressure on the width areas. But yeah, let's do one more different variation, and then we'll get into some shooting and striking. Because to be honest, most of me expected these boots to be, they fit really well out of the box, and you could see a little bit of my surprise in the unboxing video, particularly because I was not expecting the King 2.0 to be anything special. I wouldn't say these are necessarily like special, but they feel really good. The heel area, my God, they have done some magic. The Ortholite in the heel area makes such a big difference to the playing experience of this boot, because it's soft, but it locks your foot in a way that the old one just didn't do. And I think it is so enjoyable, like zero slippage. You've got the nano grip on the insole. So my foot is stuck inside this boot. But actually what I'm gonna do, because my toes are a little bit cramped, I'm gonna take them off, show you guys kind of how this upper is molding. All right, gonna take them off and let my feet breathe just a little bit, as to be expected, to be honest. Like, I'm not, again, with all of the positive remarks I have about these, they still are not a boot that is designed for incredibly wide feet. but I do feel like they just have improved these so much. And as you can see, the upper is getting quite soft. Feet are able to breathe now, which is awesome. And there's a pretty reasonable amount of, I can kind of do this, stretch, and they really will, I think, fit my feet after some break-in time, particularly after this session, and then after probably a couple sessions on some wet FG pitches, which I will be sure to do prior to releasing the 1 month review, because I really want to get a good sense of how these go, because I actually really like playing in them. As I said with the Tiempo Legend 10 a while back in one of my early reviews of one of those early colorways, it's a boot that I understand why they did it. I think it's an insult, honestly, to have a Tiempo, honestly, or a King be synthetic, which is kind of a bummer. I get why they're doing it though for environmental reasons, although K-leather is just more expensive. It's not really an environmental thing, other than the treatment of leather, I guess, which you could argue the R&D for a synthetic is actually more detrimental to the environment. But anyway, I digress. I'm not gonna get into it right now. The point is though, is I actually wanted to really like the Tiempo, and I wanted to like the first iteration of this one, and neither really did it for me. I do like K better than I like Fly Touch Plus, but the improvements that they've made to the shape of this boot, it's so much more ergonomic. It's not pencil shaped anymore. I know a couple pro guys who really loved the first generation, but the Ortholite heel area is so excellent. Like, we are verging on, like, this might be a little overkill quite yet, but this heel area in the King is verging on almost as good as Asics. Like, it's that good. The suede is amazing. The Ortholite padding is fantastic. And that makes such a difference in the playing experience of this boot, because you can have a soft, nice upper with a really deep lacing system that goes really close up to your leg. And so as you tie the laces tight, it locks your foot into this really beautifully padded heel area. And then the rest is awesome, because it's soft, it's pliable, it's got a really barefoot touch on the ball because it is so thin. And I'm just hopeful that as this stretches, number one, it does stretch a little bit more, but also that it, can be a little bit more comfortable. Because right now it is really comfy, shape is great, but it is quite tight on my foot. So let's get into some little warm-up shooting. All right, super easy here. Just a little bit of a touch past the cone, and then a little bit of a bend. I'm excited too, because there's these little kind of ridges on the inside of the upper, which is great. So on the medial side, it's called Grip Control 3D, Grip Control 3D, which hopefully will provide just a little bit of texturing to that shot. God, these are really pingy. I love that. That is one thing that I'm excited for with an upper that's, let's do that one again. Correction, bigger touch out in front. If this is a defender and I receive here, I'm gonna get cracked. But if I do that and it's a little bit wider, good luck getting to that ball. So Grip Control 3D, but also the upper is quite pingy. Nice. Quite pingy, and I love the way it feels. The football feels coming off of that upper. Lovely. Yeah, this is pretty excellent, I gotta admit. Oh no, I just tried to hit the piss out of that. That is a shame of a shot. Let's go to the other side. All right, just move this to the side really quick, and then we'll be on to the right foot. Very impressed already with how these feel from a shooting perspective. And I do think these are gonna be fantastic for ball feel, manipulation, and just general, just like general feel for the ball is really good with this K Better upper, because it's so thin, and because it doesn't, other than that Grip Control 3D, it doesn't really have much in terms of upper. Yeah, less power, more wrap. But man, very impressed with these. Sole plate is, I would say, nothing to write home about. Ooh. There you go. Nothing to write home about, so it's not like amazing, but it's not bad. And I don't really find that it is distracting in the sense that it's oh, it's, you know, it's an upper, or excuse me, it's a sole plate that, get in that top corner, eh? It's not a sole plate that I'm like, wow, I notice how crappy it is or whatever, because it's actually quite good. And it is pretty responsive, but I think it does match the upper in a lot of ways. Oh, okay. My only gripe with with skill shot, goal shot dealio thing, it's on the, you know what I'm saying? I can't speak English today. That shot, zero keeper would have saved, I don't think. However, it annoys me and it's frustrating because I didn't hit the top corner or even the bottom corner and instead hit the goal shot, and then it's like, it's kind of flaccid, you know? But that shot was sick. That's so annoying. But whatever, it's good for the camera because at least you get a sense of like where I'm trying to place the balls and stuff. So if you like the goal shot, do you want it in videos or do you not want it in videos? Comment down below. All right, beautiful. Little pop up, take a touch down as if I'm going outside, cut back, do whatever type of skill I want around these cones through. And then I've got 2 balls where I'm cutting inside and playing, 2 balls where I'm going down the line just to keep it nice and sharp. A little bit of like a distribution play, and then go from there. Get a sense of, nice. Oh, god damn. I hate when that happens. So, I really like the striking surface. I really like how it feels to dribble. I really like the touch on this. I think it's just gonna be a matter of breaking them in, because once they're broken in, I think they're gonna be really nice. But they're still a little bit, they're still a little bit tight on my feet, which is good, because that's what I want. But again, all the little pieces that I look for in a boot that I know eventually will be really, really nice to play in are there with these. Like, honestly, upper feels good, sole plate feels good. Sole plate is conical. Oh, tried to get ahead of myself there. Sole plate is conical, which is awesome. And the heel area, the heel area, the heel area. Amazing. Really, really amazing. Like, I'm not being facetious at all. I think the heel area is one of the best on the market right now. Truly. Lovely. All right, let's get into the other side. Something a little bit different on the dribbling end, and we will go from there. Also, as you guys know, one of my pet peeves is if you look down at the boots and they've got on the outside of the ankle that little extra space. Because of the gentle shift in shape change of these, I don't have that anymore. So the boots fit like perfectly flush to my foot. So this one, really quick, is just a pass against the wall, big touch forward, as if I'm gonna play a through ball, cut here, go through the cones, and then again, 2 inside, beat that pole, and then 2 to the outside, cross, or shot across the, shot across the goal. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. A little bit nice and strong, but right at the keeper. That's a really hard angle though. I score from there. It's most likely either gonna be catching the goalkeeper off at the near post, or it's gonna be like a dipping shot up into the corner. But even then, like, most goalkeepers will be able to hit that. So, but good to practice anyway. Here we go. Near post. Again, I gotta get the ball out in front of me so then I can get a better strike. But that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Still impressed. I'm trying to think of downsides of these. They're definitely not for the faint-hearted, as far as if you have a wide, oh, that was going right into the top ends. If you have a wider foot, I still don't think these are gonna be good for you. My feet are getting kind of numb, to be honest. The shape is fine. I know it's gonna break in, but I do feel like they're pretty tight. They're pretty tight. So they're not unbearable, but they are, if you have a wider foot, I probably wouldn't recommend going with one of these, but nice finish. If you want a boot that has this kind of fake leather, hybrid touch, bio touch, blah, 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 probably Sokito or Asics are gonna be the best, just from like a width perspective. These are still on that, like, will fit most people, but not the super, super wide feet. So just something to keep in mind. Let's get into free kicks. All right, here we go. Top bins, that's at least what we're aiming for. Near post, one step up. Really nice little technique there. Kind of pop it, and with a dip and a spin. Ooh, I'd like it to be a little bit closer that way, but decent shape. Little tiny bit of knuckle there, little movement. But yeah, damn, nice. Again, technique, way more important than power on these ones, especially within like 25 meters. Most, especially as an adult footballer, you know, like leg strength should be there at some level. And if it's not, then you just caress it kind of in. That would have been a nice shot. Straight into the keeper's hands probably, but you get the idea. So striking, as I've said many times before, really nice with these. I gotta be honest though, they are starting to kind of make my feet feel a little bit numb. That is because they are not perfect for wide-footed players. The shape is really nice, but again, it's gonna take some time to break in, and I expect that from the Puma King. I don't expect this to be perfect straight out of the box, and that's okay. I just hope that, there it is. Ooh. I just hope that, bummer. I really wanted that to go differently. I just really hope that it doesn't end up like a tiempo where I start to break it in and I'm like, ooh, I think I could kind of like these, and then they stop stretching to my foot shape, and then they just hurt, and they're really, the tiempo is a whole different story. The heel sucks, and I just have a lot of problems with the tiempo, but you get the idea. With these, I'm really hoping it continues to break in, and I will try my very best to wear these as much as possible to break them in, but they are feeling pretty tight right now. So let's finish up on the other side with another free kick. All right, here we go, right foot. Actually, let me grab this other ball first and get this sorted so we're ready to go. I am, despite the sort of discomfort with the tightness of the boots, which can be absolutely navigated by literally just taking them on and off a couple times during the course of your first session with them. That's what I really recommend. Is number one, you can play on a wet surface condition, so the upper kind of stretch and molds. But for a boot like this that is a synthetic leather, the best outcomes that I've gotten from breaking boots in is really just over the course of an hour session or whatever. Ideally, what I would recommend is take your boots out. Don't go into a team session first, because you don't want to be sitting there, your coach is trying to do a drill and you're like taking your boots on and off and on and off and on and off. That doesn't work. You want to break in boots at least 1 or 2 sessions prior to bringing them into a team session. So that's just what I would recommend. Go out on the pitch, do stuff like this, juggle around, make sure you're sweating, make sure you're like actually breaking the boots in, but just take them on and off a couple times during the session and it'll really, really help. So same idea here, one step run up, try to get that whip in. Nice. Yeah, obviously that's not a fantastic shot, but at least we're in the corner. So same idea, but just a little bit more height on that will be ideal. So here we go. Yep. Oh. I was gonna rip that, but then I was like, I don't really want to chase. All right, here we go. Last one here. Ooh, I want to actually put this over there. Brilliant. A little bit more. Come on. Okay, I got one more ball. That's a nice shot. That's only going in if it goes through the wall and the goalkeeper thinks I'm going the other way. I want it to be undeniable that it's a goal. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Yeah, got the goalkeeper going this way. Ha. Okay, you know what it is. Last one, we're doing, what am I calling? God, this video I've really struggled with words. Crossbar challenge, 2 balls, 1 each foot. So who should buy the Puma King Ultimate 2.0? One person is a person who likes a thin upper, but maybe is vegan or doesn't want animal products or doesn't want a leather boot, but wants something thin, maybe a little bit more classically shaped, but with some modern amenities. This would be a great boot. If you're somebody who likes the idea of the tiempo, but thinks the tiempo like I do, buy these. If you're somebody who wants to try, if you're a King enthusiast, obviously, try it out. Make sure it fits you first, but you know, try it out. Okay, before I get distracted, 2 balls. We're gonna go left foot first. Crossbar, little ping, bang. Oh, you heard it, right? Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Yep. Ah, well, 0 for 2, bummer. Not my day, but let's hop into final thoughts with these football boots. All right, that is gonna be it for today's video. I'm excited to get these off my feet because they are crushing my feet just a little bit. To be expected though, because of the fact that they are a synthetic leather that probably isn't gonna stretch a ton. It's definitely not as much as regular leather will, or K leather will, or even calfskin to be fair. But these feel so much better than the previous generation. I found the previous gen to be just almost impossible to wear. And I just think that these do such a better job with shape. They do a better job with the feeling. Oh, there must have been a sticker. Oh yeah, oops. There was one of those, the chrome finish will wear off stickers on the inside of the boot that I didn't take out. And so now it's like fraying and stuff. Anyway, so much, much better from Puma. These are so much more comfortable. The fit is way better. The heel area is actually really good. And that is something that completely changes the vibe of this boot, in my opinion, because you take what you learned from the previous generation with an upper. The K-Better upper on the previous generation is basically the same as this one outside of that grip control 3D texturing. It is really good. It's a good upper. It's a good synthetic leather. The feel on the ball, the pinginess, all that stuff is great. But the shape sucked unless you had super thin feet on the previous generation. This just takes it up a notch. And I think the shape, the comfort, the performance, honestly, the boots feel a lot more robust as well. Like the quality, I don't know what they did, especially just in the heel area. I keep coming back to that, but it really does make a difference, man. The heel area in a football boot can make or break one that has an amazing forefoot, but just has an upper that isn't that great. And that's one thing that this does really well. They nailed the heel area. They still have the nano grip tech in the removable insole. The insole's not the best quality necessarily. Ooh, it's really sticky. It's not coming out. Oh, that's okay. You get the idea. But the removable insole does have the nano grip tech, and so my feet stick really nicely on that sole plate and don't move around at all. It is a tighter fitting football boot, albeit it being wider than previous generation. So don't come into this video thinking, oh, it's gonna be perfect for super wide feet. No, that's not the case. However, it is a boot that I think is so much better than the previous generation. And for that reason, it's gonna get pretty good marks, I think, in the 1 month review, so long as I can actually break them in properly. Because if I can break these in and they feel really beautiful on feet after wearing them on an FG pitch and an AG pitch for a while, I think this is going to be up there just because it's a lot of what I like in football boots. Good heel area, good sole plate, good amount of kind of barefoot feeling while also having that little bit of structure and stuff. So overall, Puma, nice job. I know you may not be watching this video, but hopefully you are, because congratulations, you have created something a lot better. And I think with this and the Ultra improvements, you guys have made absolute waves as far as the boots that are, you know, more comfortable and just better in general. And I think the future, hopefully the new future, will be a lot better than this one. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you guys are interested in getting some training equipment for yourself and supporting the channel at the same time, you can hit the links down below for the miter footballs, the cones, the rebounder, skills, goal shot, all that stuff. And it really does help support the channel so I can continue doing the stuff that I do for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, which I've said before. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see y'all in the next video.